Good afternoon, squaddies, and welcome back to XCOM Enemy Within. Today, we're going to be starting our actual run through the game. I'll be running through a couple of the first field missions just to see how we get on with that, as well as explaining some of the more basic tactics I use and my approach to base management. So, let's get this started. Now, before we get into the game, we'll just take a quick look at all the various difficulty options and modifiers. I'll be playing this on normal because I find that provides a pretty good challenge without being overtly sadistic like classical can be. I'll also be playing with the meld tutorial on just to give you guys a quick overview on the expansion's new resource. And I will not be using Operation Slingshot because that will give you basically a lot of resources really early on. The second wave was added for the expansion here. You can just pause the video to read what all these do. I won't be playing with any of them because I find it kind of messes with the game a little too much. Like I'm mostly going for like a quote-unquote pure run of XCOM. And easy is just way too easy. Like you could win that with your eyes closed. Classical is, again, like I said, just pretty sadistic. So normal, I think, is the best for this LP. I just decided to leave this quoting because I really like it. Although I do prefer the one from Enemy Unknown, the one about how either we're alone in the universe or we're not, and both are equally terrifying. But we're just going to skip that cutscene. Now, you start off the game by choosing which of the continents your XCOM's main base will be in, and as you can see, each one will give you a various continent bonus. Again, you can just pause the video to read what every single one does. Now, usually I play in Africa because, as you'll see, it will give you a funding increase by 30%. However, for the LP, I'll be playing in Asia for future combat because I find that going for the Foundry and the Officer Training School, that'll save you more resources over the long run, as opposed to just Africa, which just gives you a lot more money. And by the end of the game, money's not such a big deal as it is the other resources you'll get from the aliens.
Australia has sent a number of requests for assistance, so that's our next drop site.
One thing I do wish the game had more of was more of the flavor text before all the missions, because right now we're just kind of waiting for the mission to load.
That object is different from the others. It does not appear to be the same type of pod we've seen used by the aliens during their abduction operations. We may gain new insights if we recover it.
Be advised, Commander. Intel confirms enemy activity in this area.
This appears to be a containment device of some kind. We can only assume it has an internal self-destruct mechanism like the other alien equipment, although it must have already been disabled somehow.
What we have here is our first container of meld.
There may be additional canisters like this one in the area. The more we can recover, the more we'll learn about what's inside them.
Any others you find may still have operational self-destruct modules.
And that's another pain I have with this game, that the talking hands in the upper right, they don't really shush unless you choose to reduce beginner VO, which I did not because, well, if I have to suffer through them, you guys do too. Anyway, like I said before, that was our first container of meld. It is the new resource in Enemy Within. Every container will give you plus 10, and hopefully we can get enough before we start to use it, because believe me, we're going to start chewing through this righteously quick. Now, a quick word on what I'm doing here, right here. Overwatch, as it'll say, the soldier will fire on whatever enemy moves through their field of view. However, they have a lower chance to hit it, and often, actually, you will not hit with Overwatch, even when your soldiers get bonuses to their aim via weapons or abilities and that kind of thing. And that little yellow ribbon, that's just showing, hey, that there's a meld canister in this general vicinity. I'm trying to look for it here. Sometimes you can see the glow through the shadows if the game doesn't render the textures properly, but unfortunately I struck out here. Now, I'm honestly a very cautious XCOM player, although I just got surprised by the alien right there.
Alien life on Earth. We're witnessing something never before seen in recorded history.
Now, yeah, I'm normally a very cautious XCOM player, like as you saw, I was just basically a leapfrogging forward until I made contact with that first sectoid. I'll speak more to them a little bit later in the video, but I really like to have all my soldiers covering each other. I really don't like being surprised around blind corners. I'm always in cover, and generally I will go through all my soldiers' first action or move or whatever before I go into their second action, because I just want to have the ability to fire with a soldier that's maybe farther behind, put them on overwatch, throw a grenade, that kind of thing. Although sometimes when I'm getting impatient, I just tend to throw them right into the fray and just see what sticks.
Orders confirmed.
Like I'm just demonstrating this leapfrogging right now, like I'm slowly but surely moving my soldiers forward into that diner and until I make contact with the alien so I can eliminate it. Now, this soldier I just moved, Vargas, he's going into full cover, which I believe provides a negative 40% chance to be hit, whereas a half cover like a Dixon is in here right now. You can see that he's kneeling down. That only provides minus 20%. And there is Overwatch triggering, and you can see quite clearly that she missed by a country mile. That is going to be a very common theme throughout the entire game, which is why I chose the threat title I did. And I got extremely lucky here where the alien actually did mix Dixon. You can see, based on the yellow shield, he's actually flanked, which means that alien has a bonus to hit him and a bonus to do a critical hit on him, which would do a lot more damage. And I've honestly seen sectoids kill with a critical shot on a rookie soldier, so I was very scared there for a moment. Right here I'm just trying to decide if I can get through the counter to try and flank the alien back, but it's looking like I don't quite have the range right now.
Moving.
And I'm just trying to sneak up on the other side, see if I can peek through, although I just did see that other door there, so he won't have a shot either. And Dixon and I need to get into better cover ASAP.
Moving out.
He's in cover, I might be able to get a shot off. Just looking to see if this soldier can do anything, although I think I'm just going to put her on Overwatch just to see if just to be sure that we don't get snuck up from behind. There we go. Still thinking about it, although I know that these soldiers are just rookies with their basic assault rifles, so they won't have the best chance in the world to hit. I'll just put this other guy in Overwatch in case we get stuck up from behind, and I think I'm ready to fire. 62%, not the worst chance in the world, and first one down.
He's down. Their weapons appear to self-destruct when the operator dies. We should look closely for any fragments that could be salvaged for our own development programs.
And Valen is right here. You really want to get all the weapon fragments you can, because they're going to be important for just about every research project we undertake going forward. And the music's a little frantic here, so I'm worried that there's some other aliens coming around, although all of my soldiers here is just the other meld canister, so I'm going to try and get up here, see if I can get a line of sight on anything else that might be in there.
Rolling.
Looks clear so far. Debating if I want to move this guy to the other side, or if I want to keep him on the inside, although I think I'll just move him to the corner there, so if we can get line of sight anything above about those dumpsters. There is nothing, however. And I really want to run him out there, get some better eyes on, but I'm really scared about something that might be there, but I decided to throw caution to the wind, and that actually works out better for me, because I did find the other meld canister, which is really good because starting on this mailed canister, every single one has a certain self-destruct timer on that will progress turn by turn. And as our second sector of the mission, as you can see, they only have about 3 health. Their aim is pretty bad, and all they're carrying is a wrist-mounted plasma pistol. Not really too scary even for a rookie soldier, but like I said, I've seen sectoids kill soldiers in one hit before. And yeah, they're really nothing you should be trifling with at this level. Tactics will overcome just about everything if you're careful enough.
An object in sight.
The energy signature coming from that device implies the self-destruct mechanism is still intact and priming for detonation. You'll need to move quickly to recover it before it's too late.
Yeah, if you don't get there and open it by the time it hits 1, like you don't get a turn 0 per se, it'll just block itself down and you won't get that meld. And honestly, cracking open these canisters is extremely important in the early game if you want to get to the bonuses from the meld.
Heading there now.
I was again just going to try and leapfrog my way up through here, so if I can get a couple firing angles on that alien. I do have a shot here with Thomas. Not the best chance to hit, but I will take it, and I can't believe she made that.
Tea in hell.
I'm on it, Commander.
Now that all the enemies have been eliminated, my main goal right here is to just try and sneak my way up to that meld. Although I'm really terrified someone's just going to come screaming around the corner and just blow that soldier away, or possibly also hit the meld canister, and those can be destroyed, and it's happened, and you don't even get to salvage a little bit of meld. Like, that thing is gone. So far looking so good. I think I'm okay to just sort of move up, and I'm forgetting which of the buttons will let me go to the previous soldier so I can move Vargas up. Now, height does matter. It matters all the more for snipers, but for right now I'm just trying to get line of sight on anything that might be lurking out there. Although he doesn't end up finding anything, so I think let's move him up there onto the firing line, just try and keep him in cover. Because any soldier that's not in cover, full chance to hit them and an increased critical chance from the aliens, so you really want to watch out for that. And I feel like I got my soldiers on a halfway decent firing line, just put Dix on Overwatch and let them come to me. And nothing's coming up, and I have to admit, I did forget that if a group of aliens has not been activated, that is, if you don't get the little cutscene that we saw with the sectoid, that alien group is not going anywhere.
Excellent work, Commander. That should provide us with an ample supply of this substance for analysis.
Thank you, Doctor. Anyway, like I was saying, if the group of aliens has not been activated, they're just going to sit where they are. They will move around the battlefield, but they won't walk. They just basically teleport, as far as I know. So, meaning, before you trigger them, there's really no point to keeping your group too tight. But if you activate a group of aliens, then you got to be careful. And activating more than one at once is, well, it's going to happen, and you are really not going to like when it happens. Of course, my next thought is, hey, they might be up on the roof, so I decided to send poor Dixon up there to check it out, solo. Although I'm just keeping him in his normal running range, because I want to be able to jump back down there if the aliens are up there. However, spoiler alert, there is nothing up there. I don't know why I thought this. I'm just looking around like, wait, what? I thought the aliens are here. Oh, no. Yeah, just give it up. Just send it back down there in the cover. There you go. I guess my thought was, well, I can see around the corner, so maybe there's something up on the roof, but there really wasn't any point to going up there. Like, it's one of the smallest maps in the game. And I'm just looking back there, just trying to think, where haven't I gone? Because I guess my thinking is I want to get more into the unexplored areas of the map and just sort of sweep those before I decided to double back on myself. And I did see the semi-truck that we dodged around before. So hopefully we can find the other one, and yes, we actually do end up finding it. He is going to take cover behind that truck, and that is full cover, so I'm starting to think about how I can eliminate him in one shot before he gets a pop-off and wounds one of my soldiers. Because the last thing I want is one of my soldiers to be out of the count for a week already. Although you can see here, I'm really just starting to throw caution to the wind right now because my soldiers are completely out of cover, and Thomas doesn't even have a shot. So we'll see if we can get something with Hall. Just trying to think, like, where would I have a firing shot? I still run back into cover. 25% chance. And thus surprising no one, she misses horribly. However, I do have one shot left. Same chance to hit, and my luck holds out.
Well done, Commander. Recovering this material should give us a leg up on whatever it is the aliens are developing. I'm sure the doctors will be eager to get started.
For the record, I would not recommend doing that at all, ever. That was insanely lucky that I did not even get a scratch. That is the best the first mission has ever gone for me.
Commander to the research labs.
I've always loved that little no alien sign on the side of the Sky Ranger.
Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander. I'm Central Officer Bradford. My role in this project is twofold: providing tactical support for our field operations, and keeping you briefed on the current situation. My efforts should allow you to focus on the bigger issues at hand. Speaking of which, we have a soldier waiting for a promotion in the barracks. I'll let you get to it.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Looks like they're really taking care of business down there, and without so much as a scratch.
Yeah, as Dr. Shen said, this is, again, the best I've ever done on this mission, and all of your soldiers on the first mission will get upgrades.
Our snipers specialize in dealing massive amounts of damage from afar, but without sufficient training, they're vulnerable in close combat situations.
So as you can see, your soldiers will gain the choice of 2 abilities, except at squaddy and major level, and they will gain levels based on kills.
Just like it sounds, the support class provides that intangible edge our squads need. They make everyone around them better. The heavy weapons specialist provides a crucial service to the squad. With the rocket launcher in tow, there are demolitions experts. The assault class serves as our front line. They're the first ones into a fight and the last ones out.
Now, the 4 classes seen here, they are the 4 classes for the basic soldier, although in Enemy Within there is the 5th class, which I will get to when I actually can make one of those.
The recovered artifacts are being unloaded, and the research team is waiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander.
For right now, we can just see all the alien artifacts I've gotten, as well as the sort of research we can get up to. Speaking of which, let's go check out the research lab.
Hello, Commander. My name is Dr. Valen. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place. We have already begun analyzing the artifacts recovered from our first encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new equipment for our soldiers. With your approval, we will begin research immediately.
Our next stop will be engineering.
Ah, Commander. I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
I find that I spend more time in engineering than I do in research, if only because this will also allow you to build new base facilities, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For right now, let's just take a look at all the various things we can do in the barracks. We can do all of our soldiers, we can get tactical upgrades for them at the officer training school, and we can also hire new ones. Hopefully the memorial will stay empty for this entire LP. Don't count on that. And you can see our soldiers are from all over the globe. However, none of them are from Canada, so all these soldiers suck, I'm afraid. So usually I like to start off by just hiring a few extra soldiers because I know that, we run through those rather fast. We'll just check out the hologlobe real quick. We'll be spending a fair amount of time here. You can see in the bottom right the upcoming events. It'll give you an idea of how many days before various events such as research complete or buildings completed. And up there, the scan for activity will allow us to basically fast forward through time, so you're not going literally at real time or 1 minute per second. And I almost forgot, we should probably start a new research project. As Valen said, this will allow us to get new equipment for the base and as well for our soldiers. There's only a few things open to us right now because we don't have a lot of artifacts, although I believe I go for the weapon fragments off the get-go here because they will give us something that's actually going to be very helpful for pretty much every mission going forward, so that's why I wanted to go for that one first.
That does seem to be the most pressing of our current research options. We'll begin immediately. I will notify you when a complete report is available.
As for engineering, I think it's time to take a quick look-see at the base, although first of all, just see what sort of items you can build. It's not much in the beginning, just a standard meta kit, as well as satellites. Satellites are extraordinarily important, and we will definitely be building a lot of those going forward, although 100 right now, a little steep. Especially considering we only have about 215, whatever they are.
We've still got some room to grow up here, but if we really want to expand our facilities, we're going to have to start excavating beneath the base. Unfortunately, the deeper we go, the more it's going to cost.
And here we can see the ability to build other buildings. Right now we're just going to build an access lift that will allow us to build on the second level below ground level. And you can see right there on the right and the left there are steam vents there, which will allow us to build thermal electric generators, which are very, very good for power generation. As you might have noticed, we only have about 10 power remaining before we need to build new power generators, and those take up a full slot and only give you about 6. So getting thermoelectric, which is a plus 20 to your power capacity, is extremely important, especially early on in the game. And the last thing to show off is the hangar. This just allows you to customize your interceptors, and we'll get to those quickly. The first tier interceptors are, I'm not actually sure what the jets are called, although they all go by the call sign of Raven, whatever. I've always loved the way that these aircraft look. Like, they don't look like anything really on Earth, at least not as far as I know. I'm not too up on my fighter jet technology, unfortunately. This will just basically allow you to update your weapon loadout on all of the aircraft. Right now we just have air-to-air missiles, which are honestly pretty shit right now. And actually, I didn't know about this flavor text to begin with, because I don't really spend a whole lot of time in the hangar, so that's something I haven't seen before. And that's not lying. These things are basically paper mache against the weapons of the aliens. And there's no real sense in ordering any new interceptors, because we haven't even seen any UFOs yet to intercept. And with that, I do believe we can fast forward time and see what else shows up. I've always loved doing this, because I think they really spent a lot of love on fast forwarding the time, because as you will see, it'll actually go through the day and night cycles on the globe. And that is my soldiers gain, so we'll just see who we've got right now. They're all the same stats, but I'm just interested in more and what we have. And we finally have our first Canadian off the bat. That actually almost never happens to me, so I'm actually really, really happy that that happened. Unfortunately, I won't be able to name her exactly after myself, but I can make do, at least unless we get another Canadian later on. And in addition to her, we've also got somebody from, excuse me, Argentina, Norway, Scotland, and the UK. Okay, and with that, there's nothing really else to look at, so let's just fast forward and see what else the aliens get up to. Just click the button anyway. Alright, with the access lift, we will have the ability to build on the second layer below, and we really should be going for that steam right now. At least we can excavate it, and in 5 days it should be ready to build a thermal generator there. However, it does cost $200, which I clearly do not have. So I might be needing to think about building a power generator there. Oh, I do it. I guess I'm figuring I'm going to be needing to build other buildings very soon before I can get the money for the thermal generator, so hopefully that won't bite me in the ass later on. And looks like we have our first alien abductions going on.
Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
Now, this will happen with every single alien abduction mission you do. They come in sets of 3s, and we can only go to 1 because for some reason we can only afford 1 Sky Ranger. And every single time you will get some reward. The first abduction mission, it's always either 4 scientists, 4 engineers, or $200. I know it's not really $200, I'm just going to go with that for sake of familiarity. I will be going for the engineers here in China because engineers, in addition to allowing you to build more and more complex items for your squad, also reduce the cost of items. And because I want to get satellites as soon as I can, getting a discount on that $100 price is absolutely critical for me right now. And after you select a mission, you get to outfit your soldiers one final time before you pack them into the Sky Ranger and get them going. The game generally defaults to your highest ranked soldiers. So we have our 4 squaddies here, the heavy sniper, support, and assault that we got after the first mission. I will only be using the sniper here because I really want to get some more of my rookies upgraded to the classes, not only because less rookies, more squaddies equals more squad survivability, but also because I did promise that I would allow everybody in the thread to get a soldier named after them. So the sooner I get their classes locked in, the sooner you guys can decide if you want to be what sort of a class you want to be. And of course we have to take the Canadian with us, and in addition I will go with the Chinese soldier because hey, we're going to China, so what better way to welcome to the unit. And I forget who I decided to choose here. I think I went with the newest United Kingdom person. I don't know why it's taking me so long to decide here. It really doesn't matter. No, I actually go with the other United Kingdom soldier we have, Rookie Hill. And before we get going, I'll just show you the loadout screen real quick. It's basically just your typical equipment screen. Just swatch out your armor, your weapons, as well as whatever item or items that you can choose. Right now, we literally have nothing but Kevlar armor, ballistic weapons, and frag grenades. I'm not gonna lie, I love the Sky Ranger so much.
Strike 1. Prepare for landing.
We're heading into China for the next operation. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
You also get a cutscene like this for pretty much every mission, and I really do like that. It just adds that little bit of extra flavor to the game. So we find ourselves in an abandoned construction site somewhere in Shanghai.
Strike 1, this is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
I'm really not sure how this counts as a major metropolitan area. Maybe this is just a construction yard. Nevertheless, time to start leapfrogging our soldiers up and see what we can find. The first mission with just the S3 sectoids always unfolds like that. However, as you can see on the second mission, we're going to start getting groups of aliens awakening every single time we walk around. It can be anywhere from one alien to a group of up to 3, so seeing 2 is a little worrying, especially because in my infinite wisdom I brought along 3 rookies, and I cannot throw my frag grenade that far. So now I have 1 soldier, half cover, meld canister is between me and two sectoids. Sorry, the sectoids are between me and the meld canister, and I'm thinking, oh crap.
Moving to position.
Trying to see if I can get firing angle on as many of the sectoids as I can. Although I only have 1 soldier that can see both of them, and the other soldier she can only see 1 of them. And my sniper is too far back to even get any help, which is surprising because I thought snipers were all about the long range, but I don't think he's got line of sight. So I was going to see if, hey, maybe I can see them through the windows and the doors, but I have no such luck there. I think the doors actually have to be open, unfortunately, even though you can clearly see through that door and then see these sectoids. And this happens. So now my one and only squaddie worth a damn on this team is possibly about to be flanked by 2 sectoids, and I have no chance in hell of hitting those other guys. Although I do unbelievably get lucky enough with a ricochet off the top of this building that I will be able to frag this sectoid.
Catch!
may want to instruct your men to exercise restraint when using explosives. While certainly effective at killing aliens, they also destroy the artifacts we're hoping to recover from the bodies. Just something to consider.
And I'm also going to see if I can take out one of these other aliens. 40% chance, and unbelievably, my luck still holds. At this point, I'm just wondering how the universe is going to balance this all out, because, well, that's XCOM. So first turn, and fully half the aliens that we can see are down. However, this sectoid graciously shows off the mind meld, which will give a +1 health to a sectoid and a bonus to aim, which he uses to then promptly crit my sniper. And I'm already thinking, oh god, somebody's gonna die. And he doesn't have the best shot in that sector because half cover in close range is not conducive for a rookie sniper to actually hitting thing. Although one thing that's worth mentioning is that if you kill the sectoid that casted the mind meld spell, it will actually kill what it's mind melded with. I do have a frag grenade that I should probably be using, but I'm still thinking I shouldn't be blowing it up because A, don't want to waste a frag grenade in case something else more nasty is nearby, and B, as Valen says, you actually lose out on any and all weapon fragments when you use an explosive, such as a grenade or rocket, to kill an alien. Although you will still get their corpse. So I have 3 soldiers with a shot on the caster there. Hopefully I can take him out before that meld canister self-destructs. And first try on a 50-50. And there goes the one that had the spell cast on it, and that's actually the end of the mission.
If I may, Commander, the labs are on high alert.
This actually really surprised me because if I recall correctly, usually you get 6 sectoids on your first real mission, so just having 4 really shocked me. And as you can see, whatever melt canisters that have not self-destructed by the end of the mission, you will automatically gain.
Commander to the Situation Room.
Now, while I did get 3 more rookies promoted up, which makes me extremely happy, as you can see, our squatty sniper is now going to be spending 8 days in the med bay. Basically, soldiers have about 5 health, and then they gain bonus health squares depending on how much health that their armor will give them. So if they take damage that will exceed the boost that the armor gives them, then they will be spending a set amount of time in the med bay. And as you can see there, we only got 6 weapon fragments. However, we did get 4 sectoid corpses. I think we get about maybe 2 or 3 weapon fragments per sectoid.
We will be in touch, Commander.
Every member of the council is going to want satellite coverage, so we should plan our deployments carefully.
Now, this is a bit complex. I'll go over as quickly as I can. First of all, we will just have a quick look-see at the XCOM finances and the gray market. Gray market, it's basically you're just selling all the artifacts that you find for cash.
We release. The research team may not have discovered their true value yet.
And just a quick check to the finances. Really, you just have to look at your net monthly income. You don't really care about like what everything's costing everything. Now, on the left and right, we can see the panic meters for every nation. Basically, lower the better. If that ever gets all the way up to 5, then you are honestly at risk of losing that nation from the council. And if that happens, you will be forever locked out from there. You will never gain money from them. You will lose the continent bonus unless that nation was in the continent that your base is in. And also, if 8 or more leave the council, that's it. Game over. Now, our weapon fragments research is finally completed. You can pause the video if you want to read this. And that will allow us to get the scope, which will give a +10 aim to any soldier who has it equipped. However, you will not be able to equip a frag grenade. That does count as the item slot. So looking to see what I want to research next. I was thinking about the meld because I really want to show that off as quickly as I can, but I don't really have the resources yet to take full advantage of that. And as for xenobiology, it's basically just the helping to chug the story along, and I really just want to get better armor for my soldiers, so I go right for the alien materials. Eventually, anyway.
Commander, I realize our troops have to put their own survival first, but every alien we use explosives against is one less opportunity to recover new artifacts.
Yeah.
The new engineers arrived this morning, Commander. We're always glad to
Now,
have
my
more
first order of
help
business is
down
I do want to get a couple of these scopes because I want to put them on the rookies. And as you can see, the cost of the satellites dropped by a whole 23. That's very, very good for one mission. So hopefully that will continue to drop and I can get as many satellites as I can up into orbit, because satellites will decrease the panic of a country by, I want to say 2, but I'm not 100% sure. And just gonna grab a couple scopes here. Fortunately, they can manufacture these right off the bat. Other things take quite a while. Like satellites will take 20 days, period. And I think with that, we will conclude the video here. Thank you very, very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that you think I could have explained better or I should be changing for any future videos, feel free to suggest it in the thread. Again, feel free to sign up for any soldier role you want. I will be giving a quick overview of the 4 classes that we've unlocked so far in the thread. And in addition, I do have a bit more footage recorded, which I will put up after this video, that just basically goes through some of the customization options for all the soldiers. So you can just watch that if you want me to mess with the soldiers' appearance at all. But for the most part, you're not really going to notice very much unless you add a hat or a helmet to the soldier, or change their armor color, because you're never really going to look at them close enough to really discern any sort of differences on the battlefield. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Dismissed.